It's 2002, you're 12. That glowing screen was your entire world. Except we're not 12 anymore, we're parents, we're time poor, and my PS5 Pro is, well, it's gathering some dust. But this 7-inch screen right here is my PS2. I use it every single night. I'm playing games I spent my whole childhood looking at. Games I could just never really afford. Games that my mates were playing, and I just wanted. Honestly, this has kind of made me want to get a PlayStation 2. Not just to use, but just to have as a decorative piece, just to sit there. It's not nostalgia, it's closing a gap I didn't know it was still open. If this sounds familiar, why not hit that subscribe button? This is what this channel is all about. Finding those little moments to game. This is a video that a lot of you have been asking for, and I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be a how-to. I know I would just butcher it, so it's not fair on you guys for me to do that to you. No. Retro Game Corps did a great deep dive on EmuDeck, so what I'll do, I'll link that in the description. So should you want to start EmuDeck on your deck, then go to that video, because that is what I followed, and it is a really great in-depth video. So what I am answering in this video is the question that I asked myself. Is the Steam Deck worth it for those time-poor parents who've missed out on an entire generation of PlayStations? So before we go any further, I am going to do a little bit of a giveaway to say thank you for all your support on these videos. So what I'm doing is I am going to give away a £20 or $20 Steam gift card. All you've got to do to enter is just like this video, comment on it, hit subscribe, and then let me know in the comments, what is your favourite game from your childhood? I'm eager to know. Nostalgia is a bit of a liar. So when we remember our old games from the PS2, Xbox, GameCube generation, we can remember pristine, sharp, cinema-like graphics. Then you actually plug in a PS2 into a modern 4K TV, and reality hits like a shotgun blast to the face. On old CRT TVs, the scanlines did the heavy lifting for us. They masked the jaggedness, they softened the edges. On a modern day panel, well, it's just pixelated soup. When you run these games on the Steam Deck, well, you're essentially remastering them in real time. Upscaling to 720p, 1080p, you're bypassing the hardware ceiling of that era. You're not changing them games, you're just bringing them into the modern era. Take Ratchet and Clank and the original God of War. There's something profound about seeing those adventures. Games that defined a childhood, running in a clean 60 frames per second on a device that you can hold in your hand. It bridges two eras, old school gameplay and modern clarity with no compromises. And, well, it's not just about the visuals, it's about the soundtracks. Those are the real time machines here. Here's the thing that, well, I remember. I made a choice in that generation to go with the Xbox. Why? Well, I can remember being at a friend's house, they just got an Xbox off eBay, and, well, Halo. And as sad as it sounds, the grass in Halo, it was just unreal. So, well, people were discovering the likes of God of War, Ratchet and Clank. I was a bit too busy doing bunny hops on Zanzibar. Halo was brilliant, but it also meant I missed out on an entire generation of classic PS2 games. The deck isn't just nostalgia in this. It's a second chance. It's finally closing a gap for me. Playing the games my childhood self wasn't allowed to have. So one of the big nostalgia hits for me was when I booted up a game and was greeted by saving to a memory card. And kids these days don't know how lucky they are to have things saved to a hard drive, just as it is. We had to look after our memory cards. If we lost them, our save files were gone. These days, games just save natively. We don't even have to think about it. So one thing that did jar me quite a little bit was the fact of, well, to go back, we had to press triangle. That was the way things used to be. But in modern times, I think we've adopted the Japanese approach where everything was, if you want to go back, you press circle. But on emulators, we're having to use a triangle button, and that's taken some getting used to. The real killer feature here is preservation, authority. Modern remasters, well, I feel like they're stripping the souls out of our games, out of our childhood. You buy a remastered game these days, you're missing half the soundtrack due to, well, licenses expiring. Corporations, legal teams have decided that that song costs too much, so it's got to go, you can get something in cheaper. And I think a prime example of that is the GTA Definitive Editions. So they've released, and so many classic songs have gone. And well, the only way to get those songs back is through a bit of game preservation, and that is what I am doing. But when you run the original files through the Steam Deck, you're not getting sanitized, legally cleaned imitations. You're getting the exact radio stations 12-year-old self would have got back in the day. You're preserving the mood, the atmosphere of why those games mattered. You're not changing them. You're protecting them. Modern AAA studios chase the next thing, but they've forgotten the greatest gift. The greatest gift to a game is simply letting it exist, unchanged for the next generation to discover. If you're a parent who gets this, drop a like. It helps the video reach more parents like you and I who are probably in a similar situation. Look, we don't need a room dedicated to gaming. We don't need 8 hours of uninterrupted time. We just need the right tool. Something that fits into the life we actually have. We just need the right tool. Something that actually fits into our life. The Steam Deck, it isn't just preserving those games. It's making them playable for parents like us. It's giving us permission to reclaim parts of our childhood without having to sacrifice the rest of our lives. So what's that one classic game from your childhood that you can still remember playing? The one maybe you keep meaning to revisit? And remember, this is how you enter the giveaway. So don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below because, well, you could have £20 or dollars waiting for you, ready for those Steam summer sales. And until next time, see you later.